South Korea, a land of rapid progress, rich culture, and unwavering resilience. From its ancient roots to its remarkable transformation into a global powerhouse, the story of South Korea is one of struggle, revolution, and hope. But today, a new chapter is being written, one that has brought about national controversy, as current president's name, has imposed martial law in response to political unrest. But how did we get here? Let's dive into South Korea's history and explore the current state of affairs. To understand where South Korea stands today, we must first explore its past. The story of Korea begins over 2,000 years ago, with the rise of ancient kingdoms like Gojoseon, and later, the Silla and Joseon dynasties. These kingdoms laid the foundation for Korea's distinct language, culture, and traditions, which still endure today. Fast forward to the early 20th century, Korea was under Japanese colonial rule from 1910 to 1945, enduring immense hardship. It was only after Japan's defeat in World War II that Korea was liberated. But liberation came with a price. The country was divided along the 38th parallel, with the Soviet Union occupying the North and the United States taking control of the South. The Korean War, from 1950 to 1953, would seal the division of the peninsula, leaving South Korea to rise from the ashes. South Korea was left devastated after the war, but the spirit of its people never wavered. With US aid and a strong focus on rebuilding, South Korea slowly transformed into an economic miracle, what we call today, the Miracle on the Han River. But South Korea's path to prosperity wasn't without challenges. In the 1960s, General Park Chung-hee came to power through a military coup, leading the country with an iron fist. His rule brought industrialization but also widespread human rights abuses and political repression. Park imposed martial law in 1972, consolidating his power and suppressing opposition. But the people of South Korea were not silent. Protests erupted in the 1980s, culminating in the bloody Gwangju Uprising of 1980, where the military cracked down on civilians demanding democracy. It wasn't until 1987, after intense pressure from both the people and international communities, that South Korea began its transition to democracy. The June struggle led to the establishment of a more democratic system, and South Korea would never look back. With democracy in place, South Korea quickly grew into an economic powerhouse, becoming one of the world's leading economies. Major conglomerates like Samsung, Hyundai, and LG transformed South Korea into a global force in technology, automobiles, and innovation. At the same time, South Korea's cultural influence soared. The Korean Wave, or Hallyu, brought K-pop, K-dramas, and Korean cinema to global audiences, with icons like BTS and Parasite taking the world by storm. However, despite South Korea's successes, it has never been free of political turmoil. Today, South Korea faces growing concerns about political instability, especially under the current administration. Current president's name has faced mounting criticism for a series of controversial decisions, particularly regarding economic reforms, handling of protests, and his approach to national security. In response to escalating protests and growing unrest, the government has declared martial law, a move that has sparked outrage across the country. Martial law is a drastic step, signaling that the government is prepared to take extreme measures to restore order. This has led to fears of authoritarian rule, with critics warning that the country's hard-won democracy is at risk. The martial law decree allows the president to control the media, restrict movement, and suppress dissent, all in the name of national security. The imposition of martial law has not been without consequences. Universities have become hotbeds of resistance, with students and activists rallying against the government's crackdown on freedoms. International observers have expressed concerns that South Korea could be slipping back into a period of authoritarianism. On the other side, supporters of the martial law argue that it is necessary to maintain order in the face of rising threats, both from within the country and abroad. With tensions in North Korea continuing to rise and the global economy facing uncertainties, some believe that extreme measures are justified. As South Korea grapples with the implications of martial law, the world watches closely. Will the country revert to the repressive tactics of its past, or will it once again prove that democracy can endure even in the face of crisis? The outcome of this turbulent period will shape the future of South Korea and perhaps the entire region. What is clear is that the people of South Korea are resilient. Their history is a testament to the power of perseverance, and their democratic spirit will continue to light the way, even in the darkest of times. South Korea's saga is far from over, and the world will be watching as its story unfolds. Stay tuned as we continue to follow this evolving chapter in global history. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Map My Saga for more in-depth explorations of history, politics, and the world.